Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to International Racing League. This is Season 8, round number 2 for the F1 tier at Italy. I am your commentator, IRL Neonos Jared Fosby, also joined by my co-commentator Kevin Harrison, or his Nexus Aspect.
Well, not quite Nexus, but okay.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Well, not sure if I doubt that was intentional, but yeah. Of course, it's round 2 today in this 11 race calendar. Last week it was Matthew Alder who took the win. I'm pretty sure Louis dropped the 4th in the end. I'm pretty sure he crossed the line in 3rd. I'm not 100% sure, but I do remember that Matthew Alder won last week. Will he be able to carry it over to this week? Not sure, but I guess we may as well start off with some quality predictions, which I think I kind of have mine already. Which I'm going to go for Louis, then Rafa, then Matthew Alder for top 3.
Okay then, well, you've gone with your qualifying prediction. Well, mine is... It does say Luke 2 Red, however that isn't Luke 2 Red, that's actually Matthew Alder. It's Blizzard. I think Blizzard, top quality, Louis second, and then I'm going to go with Ganine in third. I think him and the McLaren can do well today. And probably Edward fourth, maybe Jack Laverty in fourth, I don't know, but it's going to vary between them two, as a lot of drivers now are going out on a lap, and only a 14 grid today, which is a shame. It's better than what F2 had, which was the lowest, which was 8. But 14 car grid is what we got, and hopefully it can improve for round number 3 at Spa next week.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the map. It looks like Matthew Alder is going to be first to start his lap. Of course, in that case, he'll be the one to beat. He'll be crossing the line first. As you were saying Gunnar and Aaron could be close to him. I think there's maybe a little bit of pressure on Matthew today, because there's a bit of expectation, because of course last week he took pole and win. His strategy was the best one, at least where he was sitting. He got enough of the lead to make it work. But yeah, if you're on board with him coming through the final corner, Jared.
I'm on board him right now then. Ooh, he runs really wide there to get a
little
good
wide,
exit.
almost validating, but okay, so starting lap now, DRS in activation coming down towards turn 1. Exit out of turn 2 is going to affect you all the way down to the second chicane, so coming through here you want to take as much curb as possible on both corners, and he's done that quite well. Takes it very smoothly, and you got to stay right up to the right, of course, without touching the grass, to get the shortest run down to the second chicane, which is turn 5 and 6. Didn't look like the best entry there. It's I'm not sure if he's going to be able to keep this as the pull up. Another not amazing one. It looks like he could have turned in a little earlier. Using as much of the track as possible on the exit. Now coming down to a scurry. It is easy to invalidate on the inside of his corner. Will Matthew do it this time? He has. So that is his quality lap over.
That is his qualifying lap over indeed, as we go on board with Lucas Serra then in the other McLaren, who is next to do a flying lap. About to finish it actually, as his teammate's not far behind him. Let's see what the McLaren boys can do, since Matthew's already invalidated, as now he comes around the final corner, coming to the line, trying to get the shortest run possible to the line, and it's a 1:18.721 on your 10th off F4's pole time, which was yesterday's an 18.8, I believe, or an 18.6. Oh, and actually Gavin's already smashed that, an 18.4. So a good lap there from the Williams driver. He will be happy at the moment, currently in the lead.
Oh, I was going to say that I was on board with Louis. He did have a lock-up in turn 1, but he's invalidated on the second chicane. So that's going to be his lap over as well. So him and Matthew both, I mean, they look to be the most likely for the championship. They're not getting their laps in right now.
Yeah, that is true. And who's sitting in 4th place at the moment? Because my graphic says nobody.
That would be Pedro.
So that's Pedro and the Alfa Romeo then in 5th place. As Ryan, the IRL F2 champion from last season, is in 4th with an 18.8. Pedro's done a 19 flat. Jack Laverty's in 3rd with an 18.729. Only very close there to Lucas in 2nd place. As you said though, Louis has invaded, but I think he's going for another flying lap right now. Let's have a look. And yes, he is, Kevin, if you want to go on board. He's about to start his flying lap right now.
Yeah, opening DRS, coming down turn 1, this, the corner's right, hopefully that won't, and it doesn't affect him. He locked up on his previous lap. Of course, these tyres are going to be an extra lap old, and he does lock up once again. So, struggling a little bit with turn 1, it seems, just like Massey did, keeping right up to the right, getting the shortest run up to the second chicane, trying to maximise the amount of time that you can make off this lap. He's got a much better line than his last lap that he didn't validate on. He looks to be taking the corners quite well. Not looking like there's any mistakes so far, or any big ones at least. Coming down to a score, Matthew Alder invalidated on his lap as Cameron Young goes pole with an 18.2. Can Louis beat that as he goes purple in sector 2? He got quite a nice Ascari. I think it could have been a small bit better. I mean, I can't say much, but I'm sure he thinks that there's time to find there. Coming through the final turn now, he's going to have to maximise his exit, get right up on the curb, and then just cut back to get the shortest run, and it is going to be pulled by just over a tenth with an 18.1. We'll see if Matthew will be able to beat that when he gets back on a lap.
Yeah, that is true, of course. And Rafa,
which he's actually on a lap if you want to take him.
Oh, is he? Let's go. I need to get used to him saying his actual name's Luke on this when his actual name's Matthew Alder. See how his sector 1 is compared to Louis'. As here we go then, he's purple at the moment, so he's already smashed Louis' time in sector 1. Ooh, not the best entry in the second chicane, goes on a bit of the gravel. As Lesmo 1, he takes nice and tidy as he's now approaching Lesmo 2. Touches the white line, comes around that final corner there. Decent lap as he's now going up to the end of sector 2 to approach sector 3. As he's coming up now into Ascari. Purple yet again in sector 2. Oh, he runs a bit deep, very close to that white line. Oh, and he invalidates again, and that is a shame for him. Yet again, not setting a qualifying lap. Let's go on board with Cornelius, who got second place in the end. A bit of contact between him and Kaj, and he thought robbed him of the win. But he got a very surprising second place, kind of with the wet weather.
Yeah, and he's also got a purple sector 2 as well. So this could be challenging Louis.
Indeed. So here he comes then to the line. What time will it be? It's a 1:18.275. Only roughly 1 and a bit tenths off pole position, but very close to Cameron Young in second place in the Red Bull. As also, reason why Rafa hasn't actually done a lap is because he has a quali ban for this race. Lickle and Ryan both have 5 seconds, I believe.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so they
Rafa for second. I forgot that he had a quali run.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. As Gill's actually finishing his lap now, and he takes P4 with a 1:18.3.01. So a decent lap there for him. As Matthew Alder's still out on track, probably getting ready for another lap on those soft tyres. You don't want to do too many laps on those softs. Since the track is soft and medium, you want to make those softs at least last 12 to 10 laps, so you can do the switch. But that's all the student penalties which were given to Lickle 5 seconds for this race, and Rafa quali ban, and also Ryan a 5 seconds for this race. As Matthew peels into the pits, as we go on board with Pedro and Kevin, actually who's actually invalid. What about Edward? If you want to go on board with Edward, if he's actually on a lap, no, he's not. Everyone's going in.
Ryan here, and I think.
Yeah, he is. He's on a lap.
Yeah, he is on a lap. Coming through Ascari, I didn't get a great look. He will be looking to improve on his time at an 18.8. Will it be anywhere close to pole? Of course, last season he had the F2 championship. Moved up to F1. Will he be able to challenge? No, he's only 2 tenths quicker with an 18.6.
That's interesting there. Ryan there with an 18.6, currently in 8th place. He's going to be happy with that, especially from the jump up from F2. F2 last season was a lot slower. Now the F2 grid's basically the F3 grid for some of the drivers. So basically Ryan's moved up 2 whole divisions, technically, with the divisions expanding. But he's doing a very good job right now, and he's currently 8th. Got his penalty, which will be applied to his race, which is going to hurt him. So hopefully he doesn't get too many penalties in the race, as I believe Cameron Young is actually on a flyer in the Red Bull, and it's going to be a bit of a confidence boost for him this weekend, since his teammate has got a qualifying ban, as these two are good teammates. They help each other out, and he's currently down his sector 1 time by 400ths of a second at the moment. And alright, exit out of turn 4. Well, technically turn 5, you call that, pass around a turn. Is that just my eyes, or has Kaz just moved to 2nd place with an 18.199?
Place. You haven't seen that wrong.
So it's a good lap from him.
Very close. He's
1.5 tenths
500ths away. He's still on board with Cameron though.
1.5
Through his
tenths
scurry, it didn't look like he got the
close.
curbs as good as he could have.
He's low on fuel as well, so he's literally put the car's fuel really low. So this is going to be his quickest lap at the moment. He's got 7 minutes to get back to the pits. So some more quali runs. As he comes to the line now then, what time will it be? It's a 118.101, and it takes pole position at the moment from Cameron Young. Good lap there from him, as Louis actually on lap.
Might be cheating, but I am going to replace Rafa with Cameron for 2nd. So.
Oh, that's cheap. Can't be allowing that, guys. That's Gavin, currently on a flyer right now, Kevin. As rumours have been saying that he would like to be dropped to F2, as he feels that he doesn't have the pace to match some of these guys. Now, I believe in his first round he did quite well. A bit of wing damage didn't help him, but possibly it could be him to drop to F2 if he is too slow for this division, and maybe someone from F2 may be promoted. Only time will tell. As he comes to the line with the 118.6, doesn't beat his fastest lap, which is an 18.4, and he's doing very well right now in 8th place.
Yeah, he seems to be. I mean, maybe he thinks that he's not quick enough for F1, but I mean, he's placed himself P8, and you can see like 1/10 of an improvement. He can be 6th, a little over a 10th. He could be like potentially top 4. So I mean, I don't think he's too far off F1 if he feels that he's not F1 pace. So yeah, little improvement, and maybe he could put himself right up there.
Would I agree? That is Ganan, if I can find his PSN name. It's Terra then, that's his actual name. He's up on his times. I was watching Cornelius, he was purple in sector 1, unfortunately invalidated through turn 4. But here comes Terra then, around the final corner. Ooh, rear end, a bit loose, really loose, drifting that corner, and that lap's game over. Really doing a bit of the fast and furious drifting. And he won't be happy with that. He's still got plenty of time, probably 2 more runs maximum, as Matthew Alder's actually on a flyer, yet again invalidated. He's really struggling for track limits today, as there is a racing point of Gill in 5th place, as I said, with an 18.3, as Louis just beating his lap with a 17.9. Yeah,
I was just going to mention about Matthew. I'm pretty sure last week he was also struggling a bit with track limits. In the end, the 1 lap that he did get in, it was pole, of course, so you can't count him out until the clock ticks down and he doesn't have a lap set. So yeah, as I said, certainly don't count him out for pole. But again, like last week, struggling with track limits.
It's true, of course, as we have seen Matthew start really far down. Once he was 16th and he actually got a podium out of it, so and it's only 14 drivers today, so he will be 13th on the grid. However though, right now Louis then sitting on top step at the moment with the 117.9, the first person to get in the 17s, which is good to see, as Lucas excuse me, I didn't mean to hiccup that. Lucas is 9th with a 118.514. Was on another lap, but he's actually invalidated, so that lap's game over for him. But what about Ryan? Ryan's purple in sector 2. Oh, messes up Ascari. That's probably the wings or dirty air from one of the cars ahead. But he was purple in sector 2, and I can't believe I'm actually seeing an F2 driver promoted already possibly challenging for pole. Matthew Order moves out the way. A very smart decision from him. As now Ryan comes around the final corner. He's actually gone to ERS mode 0, so he is pitting. What about Matthew? Is he peeling into the pits? Yes.
Yeah, he is as well.
Oh, and Edwards invalidated as well. He won't be happy with this sitting in 12th place at the moment. And everybody else is on outlaps right now, as if it'll let me select the lead drive on his outlap, which is Kaj. If you want to go on board with him, Kevin, who will be starting his lap very shortly.
Yeah, currently placed himself third. Of course, he hasn't done too badly. A little improvement. Wouldn't necessarily put him pole, I don't think, but could certainly get close to it as he comes around the final corner now. Trying to get the best line out of the corner to really maximise his speed down this straight. DRS activated now, coming down towards turn 1. Got to take quite a lot of curb. We'll see if he does do so. A little bit of a lock-up, and it actually sends him a little bit forward. And he's going to give up on that lap, it looks like.
That is a shame there, and actually we've got Simon F1 saying good luck to Gavin, and there's a bit of fans there for Gavin, which is good to see. As yeah, you were right though, about
looks like Pedro Sousa is finishing up his lap in the Alfa Romeo. He's currently placed himself P6. I'm not sure if he's up on his time right now, but coming around the final corner, we'll see if he can find any improvement. It looks like he is going for it, so we'll see. Can he put himself up? He has put himself P4 ahead of Cornelius Korbach and Giel. So yeah, jump of 2 positions for him, so he'll be happy with that. But will he keep it though? As we see Gavin Tetter on a lap right now, can he maybe challenge to try and maybe get himself into the top 5? Coming down towards Ascari now. Got to really not cut the inside. It looked like with the line he was going to, and that is his lap over, so he's going to stay P8 for now. Still got a few people on outlaps.
Right now, actually, Cornelius is actually on a flyers. He did get a little bit of slipstream from his team, as you were talking about Gavin. As he's through Lesmo 1 and 2. Very nice tidy exit. Currently purple. So he's going to possibly get a little bit of slipstream from the Alfa Romeo ahead of him. Could be challenging for pole position. He was very close. Could we see Cornelius take the win this weekend in Italy? No purple in sector 2, however, but he's going to get a lot of slipstream from this Alfa. Only a tiny bit actually in the end. Let's see what the number 32 Ferrari of Cornelius do. As he's now approaching the final corner here, Kevin, as Edward is actually going to be starting a lap next if you want to go on board with him, straight after Cornelius. As here he comes then to the line, and the time is a 1:17.923. Takes pole position and beats Louis. So have we got another championship contender in this season of Cornelius as we go on board with Edward right now, Kevin?
Coming down the start finish straight into turn 1. Matthew Older is also on a lap, by the way, so don't forget about him. I don't think he's invalidated. He hasn't invalidated yet, as Edward is going to get a bit of slipstream off his teammate who just set pole position, so that'll help him out down to the second chicane, and he does get out of the way quite nicely, so that is going to improve his time in sector 1, although it doesn't look like he went purple, so maybe it didn't help him as much as he would have liked it to. But now, as his teammate cuts the corner, he's going to get a bit more slipstream coming down this straight towards Ascari. Oh, it looked like he would have had to lift off, but luckily he hasn't had to. It's down in 12th right now. And he's... Oh, okay then.
What just happened?
Looked a bit intentional.
They put me on
I don't think Matthew Older is invalidated again, Jared.
Oh,
he's not going to
over.
time. He's going to be starting 13th.
Oh no, bottle then for him.
BDG Louis is still on a lap. He hasn't invalidated yet. He's come through Ascari. Of course, there's yellow flags everywhere because of Edward, I think.
Yeah.
And maybe one other car, but coming to the final corner now, Can Louis put it on pole? Not sure if it's necessarily the best seat in the house, but can he do it? A little improvement, he can't. So Cornelius Korbach, it looks like is going to take pole unless Ryan Heron can do anything about it. He's come through the final corner now. Can he put himself into the 17s?
No, but he does improve. Goes
4.
10th with a 118.443. 400th there up against Jack Laverty in 11th, who was actually a podium fighter last season, and at the moment he's not had the best result, currently in 11th place.
Yeah, looking at... it said he was 11th and it said he was 10th. I'm going to take that he is 10th though. Maybe he would have rathered... Oh no, he is 10th. Yeah.
He's 10th.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ryan,
yeah, because it said that he wasn't and then was, so... maybe he would have rather not improving, but then maybe he thought like if he improved enough he could have got maybe 8th. He was very close to it. There was very small margins there, but looking back at it, maybe he would have preferred 11th to get the free choice of tyre.
Well, and that is true. As we now go down the grid, Cornelius then with a 117.923 is your pole position man for the Italy race, with Louis in second with 117.986, only 600ths roughly off Cornelius there in first place. Kaj in third with 1.5 tenths off. Cameron fourth.
Young and
Pedro is in fifth. Lucas sixth. Yeah. Gil seventh. Ganan in eighth. Gavin is in ninth. Ryan is in 10th. Jack Laverty 11th. Edward in 12th. And Matthew Older, the biggest shock of all, didn't set a qualifying lap time because he was struggling for track limits in 13th. And he did say he does like the track limits on this game this year, but he's struggling with them at the moment. And Rafa with his qualifying in 14th.
See, that does mix things up for sure. Matthew obviously won the first race, so he has the advantage going into this race on points, but if you look at where he's starting, it's certainly a disadvantage. Down in what is 13th, I'm pretty sure. Isn't it?
It is 13th. Yeah, it's 13th.
Yeah. So yeah, of course, Louis, who looks to be his closest rival right now, although that could obviously change. I mean, Cornelius took pole away from Louis right at the end, so you just never know. But yeah, right now, the person who was challenging Matthew last week, starting second, well, Matthew down in 13th.
Yeah, that is true, and even though he is 13th, Matthew, it isn't the worst. It isn't a full grid, so if it was a full grid and he was 14th or 15th, that would be the worst place to start, because you basically are the midfield, and you could end up in a crash. And I do remember last season, I was in the Ferrari, didn't have the best start. I was actually drifting already onto the grass and could have swiped everybody out in the chicane. So where Matthew's starting right now isn't the worst place. It could be starting 4th or 5th, and there could be a massive crash, which I hope there's not, because we don't want 10 finishes or 8 finishes today. We want everyone to finish. The strategy is soft to medium, or soft to hard if there's a safety car on lap 1, but I wouldn't really trust the hard tyres since they're not the fastest. However though, Cornelius is warming up his soft tyres very easily, and this game, this year, Kevin, is actually they do tyre wear on the formation lap now than what it was like last game.
Yeah, that does add a little bit. You obviously want to warm up your tyres, but you want to kill your tyres before the start, especially if you're starting on the softs. I mean, if you've already used them in quality, you don't want to add to the wear, so really I'd say warming them right at the end would be better, but then you also have the risk of not being able to warm them up enough, so there's kind of like a bit of a fine line to just have a few extra percent in your tyres compared to the people around you. So coming around the final corner to end this formation lap and get this underway, Cornelius Korbach obviously has the advantage right now. Louis in second. We'll see who gets a better start. Don't count out Kaj and Cameron as well. They could be dark horses and pick up the pieces if something happens to the top two. So you never know, and let's get this underway.
Yes, let's indeed get this underway. Well then, Kevin, if you can look at the back of the grid in case there's a massive car flipping over and crashing, which I don't think there is. And welcome, Connor. You know, you should join IRL. You know, you should race and show Matthew and Louis how it's done. I think, you know, you could be a title contender. Well, it's good to see you here. As the light sequence should be starting very shortly. There's now 2 lights, now 3 lights, now 4 lights, now 5 red lights to start IRL Season 8 F1 Round 2 at Italy. And it's been a very good start there from Cornelius, but we'll look at one of the race points from Gil behind, and Louis hasn't had the best start already. Cameron Young is challenging Louis further behind. Ooh, almost shoves him off into the grass there. And Cornelius, oh, and there's contact between Cornelius and Louis. Louis has spun Cornelius round, and Kaj is taking the lead of this race. Yellow's in Sector 1 of Cornelius' car, spinning. And that is really a shame there, as Louis now is challenging Kaj, ready to make a middle, but Gil is not that far behind. Could Louis go for it?
Ryan Kieran's making a move on Cameron Young as well for P4. Looks like he's not going to be able to do it, and there's been a crash.
Oh, there's a massive crash
I was going to mention how clean it's been, but Pedro was around, got an error in his round. I think someone else was slightly affected, but not as much, and we have a virtual safety car already. Not completely sure what happened, but I think it was maybe a bit similar to like a Vettel and Gunnar Nairn has no wing as well. Yeah, I was going to say it was maybe a bit similar to Hamilton and Vettel in real life. I think that happened, and then other people kind of got involved. Lucky with the virtual safety car, they won't lose as much time, but you'll have to get to the pits before the virtual safety car ends, so it will be hoping that it lasts long enough. You can see it just has absolutely no grip without that front wing. And yeah, the virtual safety car is gone, so he's not going to get the benefit of that. But we are racing once again. BDG Louis, Louis Walsh, right on the back of Kaj Eltink, who's had quite a good start. He's going to be going down the inside into turn 1 right now. He's ghosting for me, is Louis. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it's because of the lap counter glitch. It says 1 lap through and we're not. It'll fix itself in a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, side by side, and Kiel is also going to get past him as well. And can he get past Louis as well? They're going to be going side by side. Cash has lost 2 places already. Louis is going to do a little bit of a Leclerc there, and will just about keep that spot. So he's gained a position, and Cash has lost out too.
Yeah, that is true that Kaj has lost out a little bit there on the time. It says Gananza in the lead. It's not. It will reset when these lot cross the finish line, I believe, or when he passes the first sector time. However, Louis currently in the lead, and this is great news for his championship hopes, as he only finished 3rd on track at Canada, but then it got moved to 4th due to time penalties he had in the race. And right now he is on a mission and storming away. And Jameson say this game at the moment, and I do agree, the game at the moment, there's a lot of bugs, needs fixing, you know. Forget about Korea, my team, stuff like that, just get on with the league stuff. As right now, Louis, looked like he was struggling for grip there, as now Kaj is challenging his teammate of Gil in 2nd place. Ryan sits a new fast lap, an F2 driver, 21.545, already showing how it's done. And
can Cameron Young maybe go down the inside of both of them? He's going to go down the inside of one, he's not going to go down the inside of Gil either, though. As it looks like he's kind of been pushed off.
He's going to get done by Ryan, actually. Sorry to cut you off. Ryan's on the outside, and he's got a lot more traction. For some reason, the telemetry and all this is not up. Cameron has to see these there. He's going for a move. We're not going through wide in the chicane. Don't be silly. And Ryan there trying to get by, and Cameron there turns a little bit of his wheel a bit to the left to cut him off. Doesn't work, and loses a bit of time now to Kaj and Gil right now. And I've got to say, the Race Point team are looking very good for the constructors' point of view against Louis and his team, who's not here today, and same with Matthew's team at Odams, who hasn't turned up either.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, by the way, Ryan has had actually a really, really good start. He's gained 5 places off the start. Started 10th, now 5th, just behind Cameron Young. I'm sure he didn't expect to be there from where he was starting, but I think it's been quite a good start. A little bit under pressure by Lucas Serra, who may be able to get past him now. Coming on suffering straight, they won't have DRS right now, but on the next straight, they actually stop 4. Never mind. They will have DRS. So coming down to turn 1, will he make a move? He wants the leaders keep it single file for now. Doesn't look like anyone is really going for a move at this moment in time. They're all running really, really close to each other.
Yeah, they are running very close to each other in the race. Some points are probably thinking at the moment to conserve their tyres and try and play the smart game against Louis, because they both can't pit at the same time. They only can pit one lap at a time, unless one of double stack can cost them a lot of points in the championship, because right now the way they are, they could be leading constructors championship at the moment in this race. And Cameron's doing very well in 4th place, as he hasn't got that much of a gap, maybe almost out of DRS range from Ryan though, Kevin, but Ryan's doing a very good job, especially to catch up with a driver who I believe finished quite high up in the driving standings last season, and a guy who's very quick and on no line.
Yeah, talking about Cameron being on no line, right?
Yeah, Cameron.
Yeah, I think he certainly is. I mean, coming from F2 to make the jump up to F1 and be competitive like this, it's I'm sure he'll be happy with his pace anyway, as a few people lock up going into turn 1. And it actually is a fight, Jared, between Rafa and Jack Levity, going through what is turn 3, even though it's flat out. I don't count it as turn 3, but it is called turn 3 anyway, and it looks like Rafa is going to get the better of Jack on this occasion. There's a little look up from Rafa, but it doesn't affect him too much, and he keeps that place for now. But I have to say though, the two Ferraris, if Cornelius, I'm not sure whose fault it was, but if Cornelius didn't spin, could be looking quite good for Ferrari. I mean, they could have had someone in what probably would have been P2 or 3.
Oh, speaking about Edward, Edward's just gone into the barrier there out of Ascari. I thought it was Cornelius. But one of the Ferraris are ruining the Force's day, and has lost complete control of his car. He needs to do a U-turn quick as possible, and he's doing donuts on track.
Now he's just doing...
I don't think he did mean to do donuts on track there. I think he's overheated his tyres. That isn't good.
Yeah,
hopefully
maybe. I mean, I hope so. I don't want to think that he's doing that on purpose. And now he's gonna get going again, it looks like.
Oh, Cameron moves in 3rd. Elting, Kaj almost loses it. Now look at Ryan, looking very hungry in that Renault on the outside. Possibly going to make a move if he gets a little bit more gap. Kaj squeezes him. Oh, a bit of contact.
That's. I'm not sure.
As Edward's gone off again. I'm guessing that's around the final corner. I think he's just letting people through.
Yeah. It looks like Ryan not being able to get past Elting has allowed Lucas and Gavin to really catch up, and Matthew's not too far off this train either. He'll be picking up the pieces for sure if he gets the opportunity to. And looks like Kaj is on the back foot again. Ryan's going to be right up the back of him. He's not going to be able to make a move right now through Ascari, and it looks like Kaj was just a little bit quicker, and now actually Lucas Serra is right up the back of Ryan. Can he make a move into the final corner? It looks like he's going to be. Ryan defends to the inside and then goes back. He did leave enough space on the inside, so I'm pretty sure that is legal. And anyway, Lucas Serra is going to get past him for now. It looks like Ryan has activated a bit of overtake there and will actually keep the place now. So nice little fight from them too, and I think Kaj will be happy with that, because if they weren't fighting, I wouldn't be surprised if Kaj was past. And actually, who's that going slow?
That's Edward actually. He was tied in the pits. I don't think he's had his day. Unfortunately, Edward's 5-second will be applied next race since he didn't finish. And Jack Lavity's out. Where's he? He's also manually retired in the pits. So I don't think he's had a good race, and he's very disappointed. And that's another driver out. So that's 2 retirements. Manually retiring in the pits. I don't know why Jack Levity did that. Hopefully if he has footage of whatever's happened, I hope he sends it to the stewards. Although back for the battle for P4, technically P5 now, as Kaz is actually pulling away a little bit. Lucas is keeping up with Matthew Alden, not that far behind.
Cameron's just got a penalty there. Just came up. That's not going to help him. I haven't noticed anyone else get a pen. So that's it's not going to help him out. It's a little surprising though. Like Matthew seemed to be struggling with track limits and quali, but I don't think he's
Carriage is in the pits.
I mean, maybe he's got a warning or two, but I don't think he's got a pen yet.
Okay then, well, Carriage peels into pits then, early pit stop for a new fresh set of tyres, and it is roughly possible to do mediums to the end, as Lucas Serra then is really closing up on Ryan, and Ryan's losing time to Cameron. Gap currently 2 seconds. As I don't know if that's me, but for the IRL2 lobby, it is actually raining. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. It actually is raining. They're on intermediates. So they've got a bit of rain in their lobby there. I wish we had some rain. Now though, back to the F1 grid. Ryan is still struggling a little bit to hold Lucas. Matthew Order though, or it says Luke to red, which it's not. Matthew Order is ready to make a move there on Lucas. This is going to be very touchy if he's going to make it through a scar. No, he don't. He stays behind, getting very close to that gearbox of that McLaren. And Matthew, yet again, riding those curbs. And this is probably why he invalidated in quali. As Rafa now is actually going to possibly make a move on Cornelius for P8.
Yeah, I would keep an eye on the battle for P2 because Cameron Young has caught up. He's within 3/10 and actually now coming onto the straight. It looks like Gil has kind of pulled away. Can he actually make a move on Louis now? Coming at turn 1, he's going to have a look, but he isn't actually going to go down the inside. Louis locks up, Gil locks up a little less than Louis. He's within 4/10 of him now. He was running within 6/10 of him, as was Cameron on Gil, but it looks like the top three have all of a sudden just kind of closed up together a bit. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be making a move now, but don't be surprised if we start seeing some fighting from these guys, because all of a sudden they're really close together. You can see from the off-board cameras that they're running really close together all of a sudden, and Louis looks to have made a little mistake. Doesn't look like it's going to cost him now, but yeah, top three certainly quite close together now.
I have to agree. So Louis is probably boxed him up, and I've got to say Louis and Gil saving their ERS. Cameron not though. Cameron to second. Louis gone off a bit into Scary.
Yeah.
But he's still pulling away as Matthew Order picks up the 3 second
It looks
penalty.
like Gil, no? It seems
Gil's going to wait.
It seems like some people kind of use overtake at the start, and then it looks like they're closing up, and then they stop using it, and the car in front starts using overtake, and then...
And all three of them are pitting. Oh, Cameron almost re-went Gil there. None of them pick up a speeding penalty or anything. And Lucas Serra is in the lead of this race. Matthew Order now on the medium tyre strategy. If he wants to try and win this race, he's going to have to pull up the stops.
I just want to mention Kaj pit before them. I didn't notice his pit. I'm not sure if you did.
He's on hards.
But
Why is he on
he's
hards?
pit already, and it looks like he may be coming out ahead of these guys. He has pit for the hards, so it's going to be slower than the guys coming out. Right. But can he get anyone? It looks like he's going to get Cameron Young. Will he get his teammate though? He's going to try, but it looks like it's just not enough. And Gil is going to get him, but he is passed.
Ryan and contact there. Sorry to cut you off. As Kaj actually got ahead of Cameron, he didn't realise Ryan was on his inside. Ryan tried to go for the gap, and he just shoved him straight off into the gravel, and that's moved Kaj back to 8th. Cameron got through, and Ryan down in 9th. Ryan will definitely not be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't. Of the people who haven't pit yet, that would be the top 4 of Rafa, Gavin, Lucas, and Matthew Alder. So the championship leader leading this race, but as of right now, he hasn't made a pit stop. Gap back to Louis is 16 seconds, so he wouldn't be too far off. But I'm sure he'll be waiting until it gets a little more spread out. As now Lucas Serra on the back of Matthew Alder. He's got DRS. Of course, Matthew has no DRS to grab as he gets very deep. Double lock up from Lucas Serra there. Luckily doesn't hit Matthew, but it looked like he was closing up, but now after that double lock up he has fallen back a little bit. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long Matthew tries to take those tires into this race.
Yeah, I think around about lap 17, maybe lap 18, it will be his pit window. But these soft guys are now coming to the end of their stint, so I believe these two will pit this lap. As Gavin's doing really well in third place. At the moment, it isn't net third, of course, because Louis is around about 16.9 seconds, I'm guessing, from them, roughly. And he's 18.3 seconds from the leader, so they will be getting past. But Matthew is trying everything he can to pull away just to try and get ahead of his title rival, Louis. And Louis will be on the medium tyres to the end. Matthew, lap 17 softs, which will be the quicker tyres, so we could still see Matthew come back into this race.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Matthew has pulled off some amazing strategies in the past as people pit apart from Rafa. So now it's Rafa and Matthew left to pit, both on mediums. I wouldn't count Rafa out of it too much either. He'll be going deeper into this race. He'll be quicker at the end. He's not too far off Matthew, and Matthew really isn't so far off Louis, especially that he'll be quicker right at the end. So I wouldn't count Rafa out for a podium just yet. That's a little lock-up from Rafa I've just seen. But yeah, it looks like the top two right now, after not pitting just yet, don't look to be in too bad of a position, especially with the clean air.
That's true, of course. Matthew is doing a very good job, but at the moment, gap between him and Louis is almost 18 seconds. The pit stop round here is 20 seconds, I believe. 20 seconds, 22 seconds, roughly. So, Matthew could only be a couple of seconds. Gil makes a mistake, gets a penalty.
Gil went wide there, he's picked up a penalty, so... second one that I know of, Cameron and Gil both having penalties. They're going to be fighting with each other, I would say. So, equal between them two at least.
Gil's trying to pull away from Cameron. Cameron's doing a very good job at the moment in that Red Bull. Was in the Williams last season, the Haas after that, and I think he's now found a car which he likes. And the Red Bull, he's doing very well as his teammate's currently second. His teammate actually could be a factor in this race. If these three catch up to Rafa could be a roadblock, as Cameron's actually possibly thinking of making a move on Gil now. He's going on the inside, makes the position.
Yeah, I think it'll be good for Gil not to defend this because they want to catch up with Louis, and I think letting each other through in DRS is going to be the best way to do that, because he has got a 3 second gap, no, 2 second gap, sorry, to them. So I think that the best way for them to catch up is not to fight and just try and really push. And right now it looks to be working. Cameron just got within 2 seconds of Louis, so Louis did have a little bit of a buffer after the pit stops, but look, it looks like Cameron is eating away at that gap as we speak right now. And Gil already as well, on 7/10 back.
That's true. So Cameron's already trying to pull away, and he looks a lot quicker than Cameron. Sorry, a lot quicker than Louis. And Louis actually picked a penalty
now.
So Matthew, Cameron, Gil, and Louis all got 3 second penalties. And right now, Rafa is stabilising the gap between him and Matthew. Around about 3.1 seconds, the gap has stayed. So Rafa may, if Louis doesn't catch up in the pit stop window time, he may decide to try and undercut Matthew and go for soft tyres as Cameron sets the new fastest lap in the 21.4.
Fastest lap. Looks like he only actually gained like about a tenth or two on that last lap.
Which
but
is
it's certainly working for him.
Oh, he's bottled.
He's almost spun.
The bottler
he loses a place to Gil there. He was, I mean, clearly he was pushing, just setting the fastest lap.
We have a nice fight, actually. Sorry to cut you off, but
it
it's going to be a massive fight. Almost possibly. Here comes Lucas Serra now, possibly thinking of making a move on Kaj into turn 4. That could have been 3 wide at that point. Kaj is really holding up a bus right now. But I've got to say, Cameron Young, yet again, pressure getting to him, and he's bottling. He did this last season. Pressure got to him in the first round.
And Matthew's got another penalty. Talking about pressure. Oh no, Rafa's gone around.
Rafa's binned it in a Scary.
I'm not sure if he's got wing damage. I think he's just avoided wing damage.
But he needs to be safe on track.
But he's spun now, and now Louis is going to get past him, and he's not even going to be able to hold up Louis for his teammate. Looks like he'll
Red
be able
Bulls.
to do a skill, but I would say that he'll be pitting now, though.
Yeah, he'll definitely pit.
After that spin.
He should definitely pit, go softs, and try and bring that gap back. He's lost a lot of time, and now Louis caught up with Matthew now, 14.8.
So obviously, he thinks that the tyres still are okay despite pitting. Or spinning, I mean.
Well, here comes Ryan then, trying to defend from Kaj. Kaj's got Lucas Serra right in his tail, with Cornelius right behind, and then with Gavin. So we've got a nice fight for P6. So some points will be on the board there for the top 10, as Pedro's way out of it, 14.9 seconds, and Tero and Pedro haven't managed to claw themselves back unless there is a late safety car, which I highly doubt now there will be. So this is the fight we've got for 6th all the way from 10th.
And looking at Rafa's spin, you have to think, like, how much life does Matthew's tyres have left now? I mean, if Rafa's spinning, his tyres are just as old, so might be thinking of pitting. Well, Matthew might be, so not going to pit on this lap either. So he's certainly going to take the tyres as much as he can. But of course, Louis is bringing that gap down, 14 seconds now.
So as I did say, there'll be around about this pit time window when the mediums will start going off for the guys who started on the mediums. So if I was Rafa, I'd pit this lap, go softs, and literally gun it, because right now he's losing too much time. He might be helping his teammate, but he's not helping himself. It's Gil.
And Gil's going to go right down the inside of Rafa.
Oh, more contact there. Oh, that's a shame. Rafa's not having a break today.
Yeah, he really isn't. But that little fight has allowed Cameron to catch back up to Gil, so he may be making a move once again. Of course, now he has 3 seconds to catch up, not 2, well, 3.5, not 2, I mean. So it's going to be a bit more of a chore to catch back up to Louis. If he can do it or not, of course, by the end we'll see. But yeah, of course, Matthew could also be a factor in at least in the fight for 4th. I'd say I wouldn't expect him to be too far off, as Gil picks up another time penalty. So he has 6. Matthew peeling into the pits now.
So Matthew is probably covering off Rafa in case he tried the undercut on him, but either way, right now Matthew is in a danger zone at the moment. If Ryan picks up the pace by a couple of seconds, could be in the train for 6th place. We will keep an eye on that as Rafa pits as well. Rafa definitely will be in that train. Cameron though, challenging Gil.
Oh, well, it looks like he's beat him out. He has, and he's down to 9th. That well, going longer didn't work. I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted to see like 4 or 5 cars ahead of him that he's gonna now have to overtake. Front of this train is now 4th, so he has a lot of work to do to even just get decent points out of this race. Of course, current championship leader. He's defending his title that he's kept for the last 2 seasons as well. So I'm sure there's a little bit of that there as well that Matthew might be thinking about. But I'm sure right now his immediate goal is to get past these guys, which he's certainly doing. He's closing. Will he make a move into a scurry? It would be bold, and he's not going to do it this time as he sets a purple sector 2. But he's right up the back of Gavin Totero. I'm sure he'll be using overtake on this straight, and now he will be going for the move. He's not going to have it done before the corner, so he's going to have to do this under braking. And you can see he can brake much later than Gavin on those fresh softs. And now just in front of him there's a bit of fighting, so we'll be able to maybe make a double overtake.
Well, he could possibly. Those softs are going to give him a lot more speed and grip compared to the guys in the medium, so he is going to get through this field quite easy, but he's going to lose so much time to Louis. And as I said, Matthew did the triple last weekend. He qualified pole, got the win, got the fastest lap, so he got the maximum amount of points. Right now, Louis isn't going to get the maximum amount of points but he's in first place, so he's doing a very good job for the championship's sake, what he needs to do, and Matthew is in a world of trouble at the moment.
Yeah, and this world of trouble, it looks like he is dealing with it quite well. I mean, he's got past 2 cars out of this train, 3 more until he's in 4th, and now you can see how much better of an exit he got compared to Cornelius, and he's going to get in before Ascari, well before Ascari. DRS in activation, I'm sure a bit of overtake as well. So now he has 2 cars left, and you can see just how much more grip he had going through Ascari compared to Kaj, and now he's going to get past Kaj. I'm sure with these, and it is with these just before the corner as well. Ooh. So now 1 more left, which is Ryan Earon. He's in 4th, Matthew's in 5th. I'm sure this isn't going to be quite simple, as he sets fast up as well. Yeah, I don't even think that Ryan planned on fighting that, and that looks like he was most likely in lead. So yeah, he's just let Matthew through, I think, and he's just going to keep doing his race as he was. So now Matthew's in 4th. He's got 8 seconds to close to get a podium in this race. Of course, he has fresher tyres, but at the end they would be dying out as well, though. So there is that. So we'll see how Matthew goes with catching up, and also Cameron as well on Louis, which looks like Louis is covering.
I'll tell you, a person who's definitely not covering right now is Lucas Serry. He's now dropped to 9th as Gavin's moved into P8. So Gavin's doing very well. He's going to score points, it looks like, as Rafa's in 10th. And we'll be trying to catch up with Lucas. Only 13 seconds. It is possible to do it, unless Lucas almost loses it and gets a penalty for it.
And Lucas, yeah.
But as you were saying, Gil, 6/10 off Cameron, is just getting pulled along. This isn't going to help Matthew. Gap now 1.9 seconds. Matthew's going to be quicker at the moment, but near the end of this stint, his tyres are going to start to fall off. But the mediums also will, as Pedro gets a penalty added to his time, as he's the only one with no name.
Yeah, I think that timing is a bit glitch, because that certainly doesn't look like a 7-second gap.
Are you sure you ain't got it on the leader
between
gap?
Gil and Matthew?
Are you sure you ain't got it on the
I mean,
leader
if you
gap?
look at where they are on track, that doesn't look like a 5-second gap.
Yeah, but is yours on the interval of leader? Mine's on interval.
Oh wait, it might be. Wait, it is. Well, okay. I've been seeing gaps wrong this whole time. That's.
I think Kevin's been having
funny.
too much to drink. I think he's been taking it out of Sandra's book. But yeah, Matthew then a second now, almost. Just out of DRS range at the moment. So Gil's going to start getting aware of this. He's going to be patient, hopefully, and we might see a nice battle. Hopefully it's not an easy pass like everyone usually gives Matthew. Hopefully they have to fight for it. And don't get it wrong, this kid's got a lot of talent under his belt and will be possibly F1 esports in the future. So right now his main objective is to try and win 3 titles in a row if IRL the first, and the only person who's managed to win
Cameron's
2.
gone wide. That's a sure warning. He hasn't picked up another pen because of it, but I'm sure that he's got another warning, so that's not going to help Cameron's case by the end of this race. So he'll be hoping not to get any more of those.
Yeah, and I've just noticed actually,
Gil
Cameron's
right
not saving his
behind him.
ERS. Cam's
So it looks
definitely
like-
not saving his
yeah.
ERS at all. Like Gil's got almost 70%, being awesome with his ERS, and then there's just Cameron who's being I'm going to say noob, but he's just ruining his ERS. He needs to save a lot more. Cornelius has actually got past Kaj round the outside of turn 3 and moves into 6th place. I don't know how long this will hold. However, Matthew Ord now is in DRS range. Gil, really on the gearbox. He's really pushing the car to its limit right now. But Cornelius has got a lot of ERS to defend with, and is going to have DRS. And defending. They're gaining on Cameron, so we could see a nice two-way fight. Matthew peeks to the inside to just scare Gil a little bit, to try and get more grip and see where the guy makes it. Ooh, Matthew twitch on the steering wheel, almost loses through the sky, but here's Matthew's time now. Uses the overtake, but he's used it at the wrong time. Cornelius is going to be a lot faster down the straight with the overtake button. Ooh, Cameron almost gets rear-ended by Matthew. And here comes Gil now. It's his turn. DRS activated. ERS plenty.
Yeah, he's going to go straight past Matthew. with ease, it looks like. Oh, and
we're
it's
going
going to be a
three wide.
three-wide moment for P2. Who's going to come out on top on this? It looks like...
Oh, there's
and Cameron's
contact!
hit Matthew! Down the inside. Has Gill been able to take advantage? He's cut the corner to
avoid that. There's no need to give the position back. That was, I don't know what Cameron was playing at there. You know, it was three wide. Give him a bit more space and just taps Matthew and sends him spinning.
I don't... It looked like Cameron was a bit optimistic with that. He had a tyre alongside Matthew going to turn one. He probably should have backed out on that. Matthew has been spun around, and now he'll have to get past Gill once again. But I'm sure Gill won't be too upset with that, because now it's put him in a podium place once again. I'm pretty sure he has 6 seconds. I'm not 100% sure. I know Matthew has 6 seconds anyway. Ryan gets a 3-second penalty there.
The gap at the moment between Louis and Matthew, 6.2 seconds. Louis only got 1 penalty. Matthew's got 2.
Gill has so much more ERS. He's caught back up by the end of that straight. You can see how much quicker that Matthew's in the corners, but on the straights, Gill has him. Matthew won't have any DRS, so will Gill be able to get back past Matthew now? He's going to be in the slipstream. He's using his ERS. Matthew has none to use anymore. He's going to go around the outside of him into turn 1. He's going to have the inside line for the next corner. It looks like he's kind of
Matthew, Gill was still there, mate. You got to give him more space in that ball. You know, I've noticed. I know Matthew is very good at his defending, but that there, you can. If someone's going on the outside and you think he's going to go side by side with you into turn 3 or 2 or whatever corner it is, you give him space. That's silly moves by both Williams drivers from last season.
I am going to say, though, that corner, I have seen people kind of take that kind of line, so it might be something just to do with that corner and leaving space. It might not be the easiest, because, on the exit as well, noticing cars on your right, I'm not sure, maybe that corner is a bit glitchy with the proximity arrows, but, Matthew may have thought that the move was done, and it just wasn't, so... it may not have been intentional for Matthew.
That's true.
But I guess we'll see later on if it's reported or not. But
I think it definitely
looking at it now, Matthew Alder, though, on a different note, he's within 6 seconds of Louis. I'm pretty sure Louis has less penalties for now. But he has a clean track ahead of him, and he will be pushing to get this win to at least take as Gill has pit.
Why this one annoys me with certain drivers? I just
really blame him for that, but would have rather that you finish.
Well, I think he's definitely going to report it. It has ruined his race. I still say Matthew should give him a little bit more space. There was plenty of room, but it happens, and Gill will report it to the stewards, hopefully, and we can investigate it. As now Cameron then is basically being given a jail out of free card right now, currently in 3rd, and if the contact between him and Matthew does get reported, that could bring the first ever IRL F2 driver a podium position in F1.
That is actually true. Ryan's not too far off. The kind of leading pack, I guess. He's within. It looks like 5. Excuse me. He's within 5 seconds, just about, I think. So maybe that could develop, but it looks like Matthew's not really catching as much as he needs to right now. In the last lap, he's caught only about 2/10. It really... I don't think that Matthew's going quick enough to take this win. Cameron Young is still within 3 seconds of him. I'm not sure 100% how penalties are going to play out. Cornelius is trying to get past Ryan. Looks like he wasn't quite successful. Now Cash has taken advantage. He's going to be trying to go around the outside of turn 3.
Oh, look at the straight line speed of Cornelius.
3 wide almost. It is 3 wide as Cash goes right down the inside. And he taps Cornelius a bit. No one's fault there. He did lock up a bit going into the corner as well. And now Lucas Serra is going to get past him. So Cash was going for 4th. but instead he's now down in 7th, so I'm sure he's going to be kicking himself that he didn't gain off that particular one. But I have to say though, Cornelius, after getting after that spin on turn 1, his recovery drive has been amazing. I mean, he's up to P4 now, when at one point it was looking like it was kind of over. He's brought it back. He hasn't given up, and it's paid off. He could be looking at a podium here as well. He's within 3 seconds of Cameron, so you just never know. Looking at the fight for the lead, though, it looks like Louis has this, unless he's got a few penalties that we don't know about.
That is true. As I've got to say, Cornelius doing a very comeback drive now, and yet again, I do apologise for Gil. He's very annoyed, and I've just had to write a few messages which you might have heard on the typing. But we're on the penultimate lap, and Matthew hasn't really done all. 5.3 seconds. I knew this. He didn't get a good quality. It's affected his race result. He probably will still be the race leader. Sorry, driver championship leader at the moment. But that gap, what he had, is going to be eaten into by Louis. Oh, Louis picks up a pen. 3 seconds. That's a tie now.
I'm not sure. Did he have 6 seconds before this? Do you know?
I only saw him early on get one.
I only remember one. If that was his third, though, that could be the win over for him.
That's true. As we're on the board with a 3-wide fight, Lucas is challenging Ryan all over the place, trying to go outside, then to the inside. He runs wide, right off the curb. That's going to slow him down. Ryan is trying to catch back up with Cornelius, who's only 5/10 up the road, but Lucas is probably going to go for a move on him as it's starting to get a bit cloudy. As Cornelius goes back to the racing line, Lucas is sending it on Ryan.
Massive.
Oh, very late. Oh, and he runs into Cash.
Cash is trying to take advantage as well. Will he be able to down this straight now? A few laps ago we tried to go down the inside, didn't quite work. He's going to be going down the inside this time. Can he make it work though? This, I guess not. I'm not gonna comment on that, but unsuccessful on this occasion. But he still has 2 more chances, I'd say. Coming down this straight, he'll have DRS, and Lucas has crucially lost DRS on the car in front. So Lucas is going to fend to the inside. Cash is going to go around the outside. Has he got it before the corner? He has. So that is, I'm sure Cash will be happy with that at least.
Well then, we're going to go on board with Louis.
Is it over though?
Round the final corners, we can hear that battle still going. Louis weaving, gets the win on track. Matthew Order then will take second by 1.5 seconds. Cameron Young then will take third, possibly will be reported. However, Cornelius, Ryan takes fourth then. Gavin fifth, Cornelius sixth, Kaz drops to seventh. Rafa then at this point in eighth, Lucas in ninth. What about Pedro? Pedro's got a 6.1 second gap to Tero. If he's got 2 penalties, that could change it, or 3, could change the result to that final point, and he's going to get 2 points with the fastest lap. So he's done a very good job as he comes now through the final corner. To the line, he gains a bit of time on Lucas. What about Ganan? He takes 11th, I believe. Yep, he does take 11th. So that is that race over and done with then, Kevin. Only 11 cars finished.
And the game has decided that Matthew gets driver of the day. Speaking of driver of the day, Jared, who would you pick?
Well, it's congratulations to Louis winning and Matthew getting second, Cameron third. But I don't think the podium would have been like that. I think it would have been Louis, Gil, and Cameron. I'm a little bit disappointed in Matthew doing that move, but driver of the day I think I'm going to give to Cornelius, coming back after he was first, did get hit, and he finished 6th in the end by penalties, but he was 4th on track.
And I would agree with you there for driver of the day, Cornelius. It was a really good comeback. I mean, of course, penalties dropped him to 6, but I think the actual comeback drive is was good enough for a driver of the day, so I would pick him as well.
Okay then, well then, as we go down the driver lineup then, Louis takes the win and 25 points to his name. He'll definitely be happy with that as he had 9 seconds worth of pens. Matthew Order then will take second with Cameron Young in 3rd place, Ryan in 4th with Gavin in 5th place, Cornelius in 6th, Kaj in 7th, Rafa in 8th, Lucas 9th, Pedro in 10th. However though, Ryan served his 5-second penalty today, so actually where does he round up on the grid? Excuse me, now I've got hiccups again. He will actually, he's going to lose a lot of play. He's going to lose 2 positions and he's going to drop to 6th with this 5-second penalty. So that is a shame, that. As Gavin's really happy with P5, and congratulations for you as well. May actually be P4 with the 5-second penalty Ryan has. As Kevin, could you do me a massive favour and suggest the top 3?
Which are Matthew, Louis, and Cameron, right?
Yep. Well done. We had a different winner than today. Matthew won last week, Louis won this week, and this time Matthew has no excuse to defend his title this season. As the past 2 seasons, I've said he's had a little bit of an easy title. Louis left and has returned, so I think Louis could challenge him this year since he started the first round. As Kevin has suggested the top 3, as we will invite them to the interviews as we've sent them now. If you guys got any questions for the guys in the interviews, do let us know in the comments when we may ask them. Oh no, there's... Cameron has made it for the interview. We will start Cameron in a minute. We'll just give the extra few minutes for the other 2. Well then, we will start with Cameron. Well, Cameron, congratulations on your podium result. Your race didn't go too well at the start. You had a good start challenging Louis, and then Louis squeezed off in the grass, and it was a bit harsh to defend, and then he actually took Cornelius and spun him round. Did you think, with the pace you had, you could have challenged Louis if Gil wasn't fighting you and could go for the win?
I don't think Gil was the problem. I think after my spin, I had to, use a bit more ERS to get back up to Gil, so I think that cost me a lot, because otherwise I think I probably would have had a good chance of sticking with Louis.
Well then, you were in that 3-wide fight actually with Matthew, and your ex-teammates did come to blows in turn 1, and unfortunately you spun Matthew round. Gil was there as well. It was 3-wide in turn 1, a bit silly with a 3-wide moment going into turn 1 because it isn't enough for 3 cars. It's only just enough for 2. But how did you feel? Who was at fault there? Do you think you were at fault, or Matthew, or do you think it was Gil?
First, I wouldn't like to blame anyone. I'd mostly like to blame myself. But I thought Gil was gonna sort of back out, go to the left, and then I'd do something, and then he'd have been with me. But what can you say? Like I said, 3 don't go into 1, but what can you do?
It's true, of course. Well then, Kevin, have you got any questions to ask Cameron before I ask him the final question?
No, just congratulations on the podium. Of course, the quali and race pace seems quite good, so seems quite positive there. So maybe you might be able to pick up a few more podiums and maybe challenge for a few more wins. So just congratulations on the P3 really.
Thanks.
Good luck for next few weeks.
Well then, Karen, Spa is next week. How do you think you're going to do there? Do you think you could get a podium, or do you think you could finally get a win this season and tell your teammate, your ex-teammate, is on for the title fight with him and Louis?
I'd never really like to say I'd be up there for a win, but I think I'd probably challenge for a podium. Pace is quite strong overall in this game, so we wait and see what the pace like around Spa, but it should be good.
Okay then. Well, thank you for taking time for the interview, and hope you have a good result at Spa next week.
Thank you.
Well then, Kevin, if you want to start on with Matthew Alder, who finished in second place.
Of course, Matthew, in quali, you didn't end up getting a lap in. Last week, you had some trouble with the track limits as well, and eventually got a lap in that ended up putting you on pole. Do you think you could have been pole if you got have had a lap today?
Yeah, I definitely think I could have. I'm pretty sure I did 2 laps would have put me on pole. They're both invalid, unfortunately. But yeah, I definitely think I could have got pole.
And with the track limits in quali, of course, as I said last week, you were struggling with them, and today you ended up not setting a lap because of them. So do you think maybe there's some work to do there, or do you think it's just a bit unlucky?
If you get a penalty, then there's always work to do there, obviously. Yeah, I definitely need to get better on the track limits. Scary was just horrible for me.
Yeah, and of course the race seemed quite a lot better. I mean, you came from 13th and ended up second in the end. Do you want to just kind of work us through your race, like maybe a few battles that you had, and like kind of what you were thinking? Like, did you think you maybe could have got the win in the end, like if you weren't caught up fighting so much, or do you think that was kind of off the cards?
You want me to go from the start?
Yeah, just kind of run us through really.
Okay, well, my start was good. My aim on the first lap was just to make up positions as much as possible. I got like 9th before the VSC came out, and I don't know why, but my tyres were freezing when the VSC came out. I don't know. I don't have really no idea why they were like that. And then I just kept making my way up the field. Then it came to the point where I just had to set fast laps by myself up front to make sure I got the maximum position I could. Unfortunately, I came out right behind that big long train. But the softs just had incredible grip through each corner. I could gain like 2 or 3 tenths on everyone, so it was quite easy to get past all of them. Then when I got past that train, I tried to get past. I got past Gil. He didn't really fight it too much, and then I went for the move on Cameron, and Gil decided that he would go for the move on me and Cameron at the same time as well. Unfortunately, Cameron spun me round, but not much I could have done about that. That could have cost me the win, but then again I did get penalties which cost me a win as well. And then we had the battle with me and Gil, which spun him round. My opinion, I mean, probably definitely should have left him room, but I don't think he should have gone for that really. He was on mediums with the same amount of penalties as well, and I didn't get a single penalty for the rest of the race. So I don't think he should have fought it, to be honest. I think he should just tried his best to stay in my DRS and catch up to Louis. But he fought it, got down my outside. I didn't leave him enough room. But well, yeah, that's just unfortunate. I mean, I was quite annoyed because I got spun around early in the race, so I wasn't really thinking about that too much. Then it was just good. Just tried to close up to Louis. That didn't go as well as I was hoped, but I don't think after I got spun around that I could have caught up to Louis anyway. I did make mistakes, but not 1.5 seconds of them. So.
So yeah, maybe could have been better than you think. You could have got the win if things were a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course next week at Spa, of course today you went from 13th to 2nd. Last week you got the win. Do you think you could put yourself back on the top step next week?
We'll have to see. I mean, I think Louis is a better track for Louis than Italy was. But I think it's harder for me to corner car around there. Let's hope it is for me anyway. So I think I'll be able to put a better fight to him this time.
Well, yeah. Congratulations on your 13th to 2nd, of course, and good luck for next race.
Well then, congratulations Matthew on 2nd place. I've noticed Louis hasn't returned to interview. I think it was 2nd time. I think he finished 3rd in Canada, but it's alright. Well then, we'll just start doing the closing down procedures then, Kevin. If you guys do want to see more IRL content, join us tomorrow at 4:30 UK time with Lance LeBron for F3 and Jake Warrior and Felix Negua for F5 at 4:30 UK time. Both will start at the same time, so if you have 2 phones or 2 devices where you can watch YouTube at the same time, do that. Well then, I've been IRL Neon, or as Jared Fosbury, joined by my legendary co-commentator Aspect, or as Kevin Harrison. And it's been a very good day. A few incidents which will be definitely sorted out in the stewards. And hopefully you've had a good day watching the stream, and hit the like button, turn the notification bell on, and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Goodbye for now.